Emmerdale schemer Kev Townsend piles more pressure on Liam Kavanagh tonight, as he tries to protect the shocking truth about his health condition. Kev's manipulation of his husband Robert Sugden is currently under serious threat, as Liam now knows that he's not terminally ill. Shameless Kev has tried to keep Robert on side by claiming that he's dying from a serious heart condition. This has led to Robert reconciling with Kev following the rogue's release from prison, believing that he's granting a dying man's wish for some final months of happiness. Of course, Robert's motives aren't totally selfless. He's also very interested in receiving a £250,000 inheritance payment once Kev is gone. Robert's soulmate Aaron Dingle is also on board with the plan to play the long game, aware that the large sum of money would secure their future. In tonight's episode, Kev pays another visit to Liam at the surgery and the atmosphere is awkward following the GP's discovery that Kev is lying about his illness. Although Kev does have a heart condition, it's treatable and he could have years or even decades left if he takes doctor's orders and manages it appropriately. As a tense conversation unfolds, Kev reveals his endgame by assuring Liam that he intends to tell Robert the truth eventually. No great surprise, since Robert will naturally start to wonder about Kev's prognosis as time passes. Describing his deception as a little white lie, Kev explains, "Pretty soon after Robert had got released, I barely heard from him. And then, when I saw him on day release, it just felt different, like he was slipping away. It was upsetting, so I started to panic. I started hearing myself exaggerating, my heart this, my heart that, I haven't got that long left. So he'd feel sorry for me and give me a chance? I am going to tell him the truth, but in my own time. Because it's got to come through me, not somebody else." As Kev pointedly quizzes the terrified GP on doctor-patient confidentiality rules, it's clear that Liam's career could be on the line if he spills the beans. It's an impossible position for Liam, as he also has his romantic connection to Aaron's mum Chaz to consider. Would he risk his job to tip her off? Liam, however, remained firm in his stance. He stared at Kev, his eyes filled with frustration and anger. "Kev, you can't keep lying to Robert like this," Liam said, his voice firm. "You're taking advantage of his kindness and that's wrong." Kev sneered. "Liam, what are you talking about? I'm just trying to keep my marriage together. Do you understand that feeling?" Liam shook his head. "No, I don't. I don't understand why you think lying is the best way to solve a problem. Robert deserves to know the truth." "And who do you think you are to decide that?" Kev asked, his tone threatening. "If you tell Robert anything, I will make sure your career is over. Do you understand?" Liam felt a chill run down his spine. He knew Kev wasn't joking. He is a dangerous man and is capable of doing anything to protect his secret. But Liam cannot ignore his conscience either. He cannot stand by and watch Robert be deceived. He must do something. As Liam leaves the clinic, he begins to consider his options. He can tell Chaz what he has discovered. Chaz will certainly help him expose Kev. But that could put Chaz in danger. Liam can also talk to Robert directly. But will Robert believe him? Or will Robert just believe Kev and think Liam is trying to destroy their marriage? Liam feels he is between a rock and a hard place. He does not know what to do. He only knows that he cannot let Kev continue to deceive Robert. Meanwhile, Kev returns home and begins to plan his next move. He knows that Liam is a threat and he must eliminate that threat. He will do anything to keep his secret and make sure he gets his inheritance. One evening, Liam decided he couldn't keep quiet anymore. He knew he had to do something, no matter how dangerous it was. He went to Chaz, who was working at the Woolpack. "Chaz, I need to talk to you about something important," Liam said, his tone urgent. Chaz saw Liam's serious expression and knew something was wrong. She led Liam to a secluded corner of the bar where they could talk privately. Liam took a deep breath and began to tell Chaz everything about Kev and his fake illness. Chaz listened to Liam's every word, her eyes wide with shock. "No way," Chaz exclaimed when Liam finished. "Kev couldn't have done that to Robert." "But he did," Liam said. "He's using Robert for his inheritance. And if I tell, my career will be ruined." Chaz was silent for a moment, thinking about what Liam had just said. She knew Liam was in a difficult position. But she also knew that Robert needed to know the truth. "Liam, I'll help you," Chaz said finally. "We have to expose Kev. Robert deserves to know the truth." Liam felt relieved to hear those words from Charles. He knew that he was no longer alone. Together with Chaz, they could face Kev and expose his deception. However, they also knew that Kev was a dangerous man and he would not give up easily. The fight ahead would be difficult, but Liam and Chaz were ready to face it. Liam and Chaz's plan began to unfold cautiously. They knew Kev was cunning and would leave no stone unturned. Chaz began to spend more time with Robert, trying to subtly open up conversations about Kev and his health. She wanted Robert to ask questions, rather than be forced to believe anything. One afternoon, Chaz and Robert were sitting in the Woolpack having coffee. "I think Kev seems a lot healthier than he lets on," Chaz remarked nonchalantly. "Have you noticed?" Robert took a sip of his coffee. "Well, he has his days, Charles. He has a heart condition, it's not always bad." "That's true," Chaz continued, "but I remember when he first came out of prison he looked very weak. Now he's very active, even going to the gym." Chaz deliberately mentioned Kev going to the gym, a detail Liam had provided, because she knew Robert would be surprised. Robert frowned. "Kev going to the gym? He didn't tell you?" He began to think. Kev was always complaining about his weak heart, but going to the gym? That didn't seem right. Meanwhile, Liam also started to look for more evidence. He knew he needed something more concrete than just his words. He remembered Kev talking about having a routine heart checkup. Liam decided to secretly check Kev's medical records at the clinic, a risky move that could cost him his job. That night, after everyone had left, Liam sneaked into the records room. He searched for Kev Townsend's file and finally found it. His hands shook as he flipped through the pages. And then he found it, the latest test results and the cardiologist's comments. The results showed that Kev's heart condition was stable and completely manageable with medication and a healthy lifestyle, with no signs of a terminal illness. The doctor even recommended that Kev increase his physical activity. Liam took pictures of these important documents on his phone. He knew this was the convincing evidence he and Chaz needed. But he also knew that what he had done was a serious breach of professional ethics. The next day, Liam met Chaz and showed her the photos. Chaz stared in amazement at the information on the phone screen. "Holy cow, Liam. You risked everything for this." "We can't let Kev keep lying to Robert," Liam said firmly. "Now we have proof. What are we going to do next?" Chaz looked at the photos, her face hard. "We'll face Kev. But not now. We need a plan that he can't deny." She knew they had to be careful, because Kev would surely strike back viciously. The inevitable confrontation between truth and lies was drawing near. Could Kev escape the trap Liam and Chaz had set? Or would the truth come out, bringing justice to Robert? Liam and Chaz decided it was time to confront Kev directly. They chose a time when Robert was also present to ensure that Kev could not easily deny or threaten. That evening, they arranged for Robert and Kev to have dinner at the shared house where Robert and Aaron lived. The atmosphere was tense from the start. Robert sensed something was different, but he couldn't figure out what was going on. As the meal was nearing its end, Chaz cleared his throat. "Kev, we need to have a serious talk." Kev raised his eyebrows, looking surprised. "What's wrong, Chaz? Did I do something wrong?" His tone was still fake, but his eyes were starting to show wariness. "You know what you did," Liam interjected, unable to hide his anger. He put his phone on the table and opened a photo of Kev's medical records. "We know you don't have a terminal heart condition, Kev. We have proof." Kev stared at the phone screen, his face pale. His usual confidence was gone, replaced by panic. He tried to regain his composure. "What is this? What are you talking about, Liam? This is a fake document. You're trying to destroy my marriage." Robert, who had been silently watching, was now shocked. He looked at Liam, then at Chaz, and finally at Kev, who was desperately trying to deny the truth. "Kev, what is this? Is Liam telling the truth?" Robert's voice was trembling. "No, Robert, it's not," Kev said hurriedly, trying to pull Robert's hand. "They're jealous of our happiness. They want to tear us apart." Chaz shook her head. "Stop lying, Kev. Robert deserves to know the truth. Not only did you lie about your illness, but you also took advantage of Robert's kindness and love for the sake of inheritance money." Liam continued, pointing to the photo. "Here are your latest heart scans, Kev. The doctor says you can live a healthy life if you follow your treatment and change your lifestyle. There's not much time left here." Robert stood up, pushing Kev's hand away. "Kev, tell me, is it true?" Tears began to well up in Robert's eyes. "Did you lie to me?" Faced with the undeniable evidence in Robert's pained eyes, Kev finally broke down. He knew he couldn't pretend anymore. Kev's face was twisted in anger and despair. "Okay. Yes. I lied," he roared, losing his cool. "But I did it for you, Robert. I was afraid you'd leave me. I didn't want to lose you." "You did it for me?" Robert shouted, his voice full of hurt. "You used my illness to get me back with you, to make me feel guilty. You even thought about the inheritance. Do you think I'm a fool, Kev?" The atmosphere in the room became heavy. The truth was revealed, causing Robert great pain. Their relationship, already fragile, was now completely broken. Liam and Chaz stood there, witnessing the chaos, their hearts both relieved that the truth had been revealed and heartbroken for Robert. Robert couldn't take it anymore. He turned his back on Kev, his eyes full of disappointment and hurt. "Get out of my house right now," Robert ordered, his voice cold and firm. "I don't want to see your face again." Kev stood up, trying to approach Robert one last time. "Robert, please, listen to me. I'm sorry. I love you. But Robert didn't budge. Stop pretending, Kev. Your words only make me feel more disgusted. He turned to Liam and Ches. Thank you. If it weren't for you, I would have been deceived by him forever. Kev stared at Liam and Ches, his eyes full of hatred. You two will pay for this, he roared before walking out of the house, the door slamming behind him, leaving a heavy and silent atmosphere. Robert collapsed into a chair, covering his face with his hands and crying. Ches came to his side, placing a comforting hand on his shoulder. Liam stood there, feeling a little relieved that the truth had been revealed, but also heartbroken to see Robert broken. Are you okay, Robert? Ches asked softly. Robert shook his head. I don't know, Ches. I can't believe he would do that to me. I trusted him. I know, honey, Ches said. But you'll get through this. You're stronger than you think. Over the next few days, Robert fell into a state of depression. He locked himself in his house, refusing to see anyone, not even Aaron. Aaron, who had always stood by Robert, was furious when he learned the truth about Kev. He went to Robert, trying to comfort and encourage his partner. You can't let that bastard destroy you, Robert, Aaron said. You have to be strong. We'll get through this together. Meanwhile, Kev, after being chased away by Robert, has disappeared from Emmerdale. No one knows where he has gone, but Liam and Ches both know that he will not give up easily. He is a dangerous enemy and could return at any time to take revenge. Liam also faces the consequences of his actions. His unauthorized access to Kev's medical records has been discovered. He has faced an internal investigation and is at risk of losing his medical license. However, he has no regrets. He knows that he did the right thing to protect Robert. The story of Kev's deception has shocked Emmerdale. Everyone is talking about Kev's cunning and Liam and Ches's bravery. Robert, although still heartbroken, begins to feel stronger thanks to the support of his friends and family. He knows that he must overcome this pain to start a new life, without Kev.